What's up, SNA fans? This Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and now I'm here to yes sir, ma'am, you guessed it. This is the SmackDown review on March 29, 2024, and I'm gonna tell you what exactly went down. And man, this SmackDown was very entertaining, like usual, like every single week. Nothing too special, but it did show what wasn't really there, and that's in the main event side, like a Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, no Rock, no Rollins, no Io Sky or Bailey or anybody like that on tonight's SmackDown. But we did see what's going to be the next match and who was the winners of the tag team. Who's going to be in a multi-women tag match, and it seemed like the rumors that's been speculated of the first and second brackets of the tag team matches for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship against the Judgment Day, and that six-pack tag team ladder match. Which let me tell you, say the predictions turned out to be true, but on the Street Profits versus A-Town Down Under match, it didn't go exactly how I planned it to be, not until at least the last minute. But let's just say, they got distracted. But I'm going to talk more about that in just a minute. And we're going to get to the first match, which was the second best match of the night. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens taking on the pretty deadly Elton Prince and Kid Wilson with I'll say, and let me tell you, this contest was very good and entertaining, something that you would expect in a generic tag team match, but at the same time, very odd, if you know what I mean. Well, for those that already watched SmackDown, y'all already know. But for those who are unaware, and don't get me wrong, like Pretty Deadly are a very established tag team, and they have some characteristic charisma, but did they really have to be over in a match like this? But yeah, let's get started. Let's start off with Randy Orton and Elton Prince. But Randy Orton started doing some stomps right into him in the corner, and places him up right into the top part of the turnbuckle, hitting this famous right hand strikes right into the face of it, where the fans were chanting along the count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then this is where Randy Orton and Irish whip right to the upper right corner side. This is where then he went right back to the diagonal corner. But this is where Kid Wilson tagged himself in the match. But the referee said it cannot be in this corner. It has to be specifically on the corner that you're supposed to be hanging on while hanging on to the white rope. And then this is where Kid Wilson's like, are you serious right now? This is a totally this is an unfair advantage. And this is where the referee's like, no, that's how the rules are here in WWE or anywhere else in the wrestling landmark. And this is where Randy Orton's like, all right, I had enough of this other big mouth. This is where he hits a big right hand right to the face, right onto Kid Wilson. This is where he knew he slipped and fell. When he tried to go to the outside of the ring to continue doing his beating onto the Kid Wilson. But Kid Wilson saw this blooper, and he took advantage and hit that chop block right onto Randy Orton's left knee, threw him face first right into the ring post in the upper right corner side. This is where then Elton Prince repeatedly started hitting face first right onto Randy Orton. This is where we got Elton Prince did an insult to injuries maneuver, because he hit a back suplex right on the Orton, and then he had him laying right onto the back onto the chairs. This is where we got them throwing him back in the ring. This is where they start doing their double teams right onto Orton until Randy Orton I believe countered out of what's his name? Elton Prince, when he tried to continue to do the 2-on-1 disadvantage onto the 14-time world champion. Randy Orton countered out of it, tagged in Kevin Owens. This is where Kevin Owens started hitting his comeback move on the Elton. This is where he started hitting the right hand. This is where he tried Irish whip him to the right side. This is where Elton Prince didn't hit the least smart maneuver in all of sports entertainment / pro wrestling, and that is bowing his head way before Kevin Owens was about to hit his way. This is where he kicks him right in the head. This is where he clotheslines him right onto the mat. This is where he hits a gut buster and a DDT on top of that, trying to go for a pin. But this is where the referee counted 1, referee counted 2. But as soon as he tried to hit 3, when he was at 2.8, this is where Elton Prince got the shoulder up. Like, we were kind of expected him to kick out, but not in this way. Like, if it made it look like we had some second thoughts. But yeah, luckily we didn't have second thoughts. We would have regretted that. Well, I'm not sure if we ever would, because we didn't bet no money on it. Thank God for that. But anyway, he tried to go for a swanton right onto Elton Prince, but Elton Prince got the knees up, the double knees up, and that's where he kept, like, right after Kevin Owens got distracted by Kid Wilson. This is where the Randy Orton tried to go for a tag, try to get the hot tag from the prize fighter, but this is where Kid Wilson tripped him right over. Luckily, Randy Orton gained his regretted that for the rest of the night. This is where then Randy Orton not only did that, he sent him right to out on the announce table, hitting him face first right to there. That's where he took off the SmackDown sign off the announcer and the paperwork and the folders from Wade Barrett and Corey Graves, which I'm not sure if Orton does not even like the master of the bad news, let alone the mysterious heel commentator. Elton Prince then hit the single axe handle right to the back of Orton. This is where they start double teaming him in the face first, but by hitting him right onto the announce tables again. And this is where Logan Paul saw this was a opportunity to knock out Kevin Owens, which he saw his cue. He's like, okay, that's my cue. Like, now I gotta run in there. Like when he ran right through the audience. This is where he turned Kevin Owens around, hit him with the big right lucky shot with the brass knuckles in his hands, I believe. And then this is where Logan Paul then ran out of the ring. This is where I was saying, like, where did he got some brass knuckles? Like, that has to be totally different ones, because Randy Orton kept it in the safe place, which we all knew was in the front of his trunks. Like, but yeah, this is very that was completely unusual. Like, even though like Logan Paul's rich and successful thanks to his popularity in YouTube and now in boxing and professional wrestling, like, so he can just easily replace those brass knuckles and get some new ones. Like, perhaps he ordered them from Amazon. But yeah, woohoo, kudos and go lucky, Mr. Paul, like for that genius, for the genius thought of the convenience of the situation. But anyway, this is where Elton Prince took advantage of this. This is where he went for a pin and he got the 1, 2, 3. And I was thinking to myself, like, referee, you're really just gonna allow him to get the victory like that? Like, if it, like, you didn't see anything odd and suspicious that Kevin Owens was not knocked out. Like, when even if he was down, he got back up. But like, is it peculiarly suspicious that he's back down? Like, even though the referee didn't see that much, but still, like, that it shows that the referees are the most gullible part of a match in WWE. And then this is where Pretty Dead was celebrating. I was like, don't get me wrong. Like, I do not complain about, I'm not going to complain that Pretty Deadly won. It's just that the way it ended, like, even though, like, you had to hype things up and make it more intense, but at the same time, did you really have to have him get give the easy victory to Pretty Deadly? I can understand, like, he knocks them out, like, when the referee's not looking, only for Pretty Deadly hit their finishing maneuvers. But I guess that at the same time they are kind of this. It's just very odd. Like, and then Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are kind of two individuals that should not be losing. Like, in their main event stat, like they should not be losing any matches. Like on my opinion, like that. This did not happen, but I can understand why they gave him the win, because just to make it more personal, like not personal, more like intense and personal. But this is where Randy Orton then asked. But anyway, back to the review. But yeah, this is where Randy Orton was asking, like, what happened, man, Kevin? And this is where they rolled the footage. This is where Randy Orton's like, I thought so. He's like, I'll be damned. This was like, don't worry, Kevin. I'm gonna get justice for you. This is where Kevin was like, I'll do fine. Like just go and find him and see where he's at. And this is where Logan Paul did not even left the building, because as soon as Randy Orton was looking around the arena, this is where Randy Orton looked around the announce table, some of the steel steps, until he saw the apron cloth was moving around the left side of the ring. This is where he flipped it right over. No, it was the top corner where he flipped it over. Like when he was looking through the symbol of the steel steps right in the upper right corner side. That's where it called, like, you're gonna pay for what you did to my boy Kevin. And this is where he started hitting big right hands right into the face, started knocking him out, like just comatosing the social media megastar. I'm surprised he wasn't out cold, even though this is all scripted and they're not. Not all wrestlers should be knocked out for the count, like just goes from strikes. And it's not like he's stiffly hitting him, otherwise he probably would have been knocked out cold. But this is where Randy Orton hit him face first right on the announce table. This is where he started hitting right hands right into the face of Logan Paul. This is where he put him right onto the table. This is where he got on. This is where he nearly hit him with the 3 most devastating letters in all sports entertainment. Something that he never got a chance to do either of the Pretty Deadly boys. And speaking of the Devils, like this is where they came back and chop blocked him, and I was like, what? Why are they helping Logan Paul? Like, even though they have a problem with him and Kevin Owens, all thanks to the prize fighter, but that doesn't mean that you should put your nose in where it don't belong in somebody else's business. But anyway, this is where we got Pretty Deadly throw Randy Orton out. Luckily, Kevin Owens was there to even the odds before they can hit their double team maneuver, where Kevin Owens hitting a stunner around the Elton Prince, while Randy Orton didn't hit an RKO out of nowhere when he at least when Kid Wilson at least expected. And then this is where they start chasing after Logan Paul afterwards. This is where Logan Paul then went for the back, and went to the back entrance where it came from. And this is where Randy Orton's like, come out wherever you are, or you can run, but you can't hide, more like, because he did found him. This is where he chased him until he got into the garage. This is where Logan Paul's like, come on, somebody give me a car. And then this is where he threw a guy right in front of a small red convertible. This is where he pushed him out of the way. This is where he drove out of there before Randy Orton got to him, because he was like 3 inches away from him from grabbing him out of the car. But this is where Randy Orton was like, that's great. Like, he escaped. And this is where Kevin Owens then came from behind. This is where he's like, don't worry. Like, we're gonna get him. Like, we're gonna have a chance to. Like, we're gonna get our chance at him. Like, even though it's gonna be every man for himself, but we will have our chances, like, of getting our justified revenge on the social media megastar. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this match and the segment with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton chasing after him, mostly Randy Orton, because he's still have enough energy to wrestle in another fight, because he barely wrestled in that match against Pretty Deadly. So, of course, he has plenty of energy left. I do think we're going to have a pretty sweet RKO or stunner, even both of a combination, like they did Austin Theory to Logan Paul before WrestleMania 40, like at Go Home. They think the concept of the name of the show, of like the WrestleMania edition of the show, like being something interesting to stay tuned until the biggest show of the year. But anyway, this is where we got the WWE reminding us that it is going to be indeed 8 days away until the biggest show of the year. And I was like, where has the month been? Like, or should I say, where has the months been? Like, from the past few months, like even like from October, like it was saying, like it's a half a year away from being the 40th WrestleMania in WWE history. But this is where we got Io Sky then was in a interview like with her saying Bailey started damage control, like because like she was lost, like and it was never about helping the new talent, like right with her and Dakota Kai getting caught up in the main role. Like she saw like opportunity to launch on to us and get into the spotlight again. And I was like, maybe at first she's right on one thing about that, but that doesn't mean that was entirely the case because like while on the journey, like her and Dakota Kai won women's tag team champion, and to make matters better, like she even won the Money in the Bank briefcase like a few months after losing the tag titles, and then she cashed in a month later on Bianca Belair when she re-won the championship against what's it called on what's her name Bianca Belair when she beat Asuka at SummerSlam in that triple threat match with them and Charlotte Flair. But this is where we got Io Sky and say you all feel sorry for her, like and you loser fans or something, and your hypocrisy disgusts me. Like yeah, first you hate her, now you like her, and you just cannot make y'all's minds up. And also, however, I know Bailey played a role like in me because becoming champion. Like, but like I made Bailey relevant. Like, well, I won the belt. Like, because if it had been for me, like Damage Control wouldn't have no championship singles belt in the group. But this is where she like, and Dakota and I felt like obligated like to keep her around. Like all she trying to do is steal the spotlight, even though I'm the champion, and trying to overshadow us, and we outgrew her. Like and she did it like what needed to and what we did was needed to be done, like, and it should have embarrassment and is a tragedy to the company, like of the whole entire WWE. And then this is where she ended up saying, like, I hope after WrestleMania, like, I will never see you never ever again, to Bailey. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is like a female version of Shinsuke Nakamura, except they don't often do, which that's a good thing. Like, if you're gonna have one of your Japanese wrestlers, or no matter what culture she is, and she's still speaks in her native language, like, do it in a more often, I mean, not often, do it more in a occasional way, like they're doing with Io Sky, not like, no, overuse it like a clutch, which with him like in feuds, but like he's making but at the same time he's making promises that he cannot keep, like writing himself metaphoric checks that he can't cash. But anyway, this is where then Io Sky this is where the cameraman couldn't get enough of saying that's a wrap, because it's not the only time he said that, because he said that when The Rock was in that backstage brawl with Cody Rhodes. Like, he just cannot get enough of saying that. But this is where, like, when as soon as he said that, this is where Bailey came out of nowhere and just tackled Io Sky, started beating the daylights out of her, which that she deserved from being a terrible teammate, like, and just kick her right to the curb and making Bailey look like she's the the servant and the odd one out in the Damage Control faction in their continuous reign as the WWE Women's Champion. And but this is where Bailey got at least a quarter of her. Gave Io Sky a quarter of her just desserts, and then she hit. And this is where she grabbed the lamp pole and she hit her right in the head. Which at first I believe she botched the spot, but she had to redo it for her to get for Io Sky to fall down, or was it Io Sky to fall on her own? This is where but either way, this is where Bailey got her tripped over the grass, started hitting her with punches right onto her face, like going back and forth. And this is where she speared her right to the green screen. Or the green what's that, the curtain, the green screen curtain background. It is the green screen until the referees had to get her off of her. This is where they start arguing at each other with Io Sky speaking in Japanese and Bailey speaking, I guess, partially in English and partially Japanese. Like, and the reason why she knows about Japanese, we all know that obvious reason. Not because for Io Sky, let alone Asuka and Kairi Sane, but it could be from a person that beat Kairi Sane about over a year ago. But enough of the references. Let's move on to the next slide. This is where we got Nick Aldis announced that the new signing of the B show, which is the Blue brand, the arrival of the former AEW TBS champion. This is where and then this is where she was like finally, like Jade Cargill is finally on WWE television. And then this time I'm going to be exclusively on the SmackDown brand. Like, and I know there's plenty of women back there in the locker room that's red hot right now, but they're not as red hot as me, and they're not a Jade Cargill. And then, as you can see, her gear was red, obviously, of course. But this is my version of saying this, though. But this is where. And she was like, and they're also not the headline. They're also not the once-in-a-lifetime superstar, just like me, because y'all already know that where I came from. And then let me give you another update. Like the storm is here, or the storm has arrived. That's what she said. Yeah, and she's like, the storm has arrived, and this is where she flexed her muscles again. And I was like, finally, they have her on an exclusive brand. Maybe it was the best to put her on the SmackDown brand, because I'm not sure what she would be doing on Raw exactly, other than perhaps not revisit, more likely create a feud with her and Nia Jax, with Jade Cargill being the first ever woman to be the only woman to throw her out of the ring. I mean, not ring, the ring. But yeah. But let me tell you, this won't be the last time we will see the former AEW star on tonight's SmackDown. And you're going to see exactly why I meant that. And it seemed like the rumors about a certain 6-woman tag match at WrestleMania could possibly be confirmed is possibly true in a way, if it's heading to that direction. But anyways, this is where we got a backstage interview with the Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai backstage. This is where Kayla Braxton asked us a bunch of questions, including one about how what's her reaction of fighting Bianca Belair tonight in the main event of Raw. This is where Dakota Kai's and this is where she started off with Bailey. Well, who cares of what Bailey did? Like, she's just acting like an immature 5-year-old brat that's going to throw a big ginormous tantrum just because she's not getting her way, and then she could come up, and this is where she said she could who cares? And what she did was absolutely wrong, but that's not going to stop my girl Io from being the victor of being the victor of the at WrestleMania, and then this is where she's the only reason why she'll have a WrestleMania championship moment not realistically and in storyline perspectives, because she won the Royal Rumble. She could have easily chose Rhea Ripley, but she didn't, because she knew it would be more better to choose Io Sky, regardless, because one, to get her justice against the woman that basically replaced her in her own group, and two, if she did chose Rhea Ripley, it would have been completely worthless, because she would have just easily squashed her, even if she stayed around in Damage Control. But anyways, back to, and it is where Dakota Kai said, "I'm gonna beat Bianca Belair in the middle of that ring," and And that Bianca's not even like, and Bianca Belair is not even a thought of her in our Bianca's not even a thought on our minds individually. Like, because like, plus she don't even have a match at this year's show of shows. Like, and she claims that she's the calling herself the roughest and the toughest and the quickest and the strongest and all those nicknames that have the EST in it. And then she had the nerve to come out there to try to save Naomi, teaching. We were just trying to teach Naomi a lesson to never get involved in damage control business. And then this is where she's like, and Bianca Belair doesn't make it no better that it'll make it any better for her trying to save her. Like, even though she doesn't trust Bayley, and then it doesn't and this where she said, and then this where Dakota Kai said, like, perhaps if Bianca Belair was the smartest, like, she would have never got involved in our business in the first place. That's what she basically said. And this where she stormed out of there. This is where Kayla Braxton then this is where Kayla Braxton then said, made the announcements clear that it will indeed be Bianca Belair taking on Dakota Kai later on the evening in a one-on-one match about at least 100 times, but it kind of doesn't matter, like, when it comes to telling the story, like, of what's gonna be the next step to next step for on the road to WrestleMania, because Bianca Belair and Naomi's not really doing much at WrestleMania. So what we're gonna be doing with these gals in the show of shows, perhaps we could put them in a women's tag team championship match or a different match entirely. But we're just gonna have to wait and see what was gonna happen next, like on tonight's SmackDown, which we're going to see in just a moment soon. This is where we got Team A-Town Down Under was getting ready for their match against the Street Profits, where Bobby Lashley was motivating the Street Profits and saying, like, you guys can do this, like it's in your it's in your blood to be continue y'all's tag team success and etc. And then this is where B-Fab then said, like, yeah, and once y'all win this match against the Street Profits and against Austin and Grayson, we're going to be having a big time celebration. We're starting off with some couple of bottles of champagne, like, once y'all win, and we're going to do that in our locker room, and then we're going to find a place to party at and get ready for and then after that we get prepared for the match against the Judgment Day. And this is where we also saw the Judgment Day watching backstage in the locker room. I was saying, like, I'm confused. Like, are they on SmackDown or are they on Monday Night Raw? Perhaps at the Barclays Center already. It was obvious they were on SmackDown. I thought I might give a little I'll say WWE joke out there, but this is where we started off with Montez Ford rolling up in the ring like if he was Shelton Benjamin back in the Ruthless Aggression era days. This is where then Grace Waller just hurry up and try to go for a headlock on Montez Ford, but this is where Montez Ford wrist lock countered him, and then this is where he hit the headlock on him. This is where Grayson Waller then personalized gave a reminder of what he possibly did to his wife with a stroking right hand. But this is where we got this is where Montez Ford. Like, this is where Montez rolled out of the ring. This is where Grayson Waller tried to go for a suicide dive, but this is where Montez Ford moves out of the way. This is where Angelo Dawkins hit a big pounce right onto Grayson Waller, but he landed right onto Corey Graves. I was like, I guess that's a circle of karma for simply making us feel uncomfortable, like in the past, even though it was like a year or two ago, like when that YouTube show came out when with to their bedroom so badly, which I don't want to talk about here much about it, even though and some of y'all are gonna be saying Super Ninja Austin, why you even brought it up in the first place? Well, I'm just saying, like, it's Corey Graves got what he deserved, like, for being such a obnoxious heel commentator in storyline, of course, not in reality. But yeah, he's getting what he deserves, like, for being such a horrible journalistic human being in WWE, in WWE storylines, I should say. But yeah, this is where we got the Street Profits doing their poses, like they're like, yeah, we want the smoke and we want the champs, like the championships that belongs to the Profits. And then this is where they throw them back in the ring. This is where we got Montez Ford hitting comeback moves right